Welcome back to Football Daily, where today we bring you a team of some of the smartest footballers ever. Goalkeeper Petr Cech. Having made a legend of himself in the Premier League after his arrival in England in 2004, Petr Cech needs no introduction. The goalkeeper with the most clean sheets in Premier League history also has 4 Premier Leagues, 4 FA Cups, a Europa Cup and a Champions League to his name. But it isn't just his trophy cabinet that sets Cech apart from most other goalkeepers. He is also a very intelligent man. While manning the sticks for Arsenal in 2016, he revealed that he communicated with his defence in 3 different languages, speaking to Hector Bellerin and Nacho Monreal in Spanish, Laurent Koscielny in French, and Per Mertesacker in English. Unsurprisingly, Arsenal had the second best defence in the league that season. The goalkeeper can also speak German, Slovak and Czech, well, obviously, but he also reportedly has a basic grasp of Russian, Serbian, Croatian and Bosnian as well. Don't worry, we've lost count too. Right back, Giorgio Chiellini. Now for a choice which may genuinely surprise you. When you think about Giorgio Chiellini, it's very easy to focus on his tough guy image. During his career, he has received 6 red cards, has broken his nose 4 times, and has even earned a reputation for hair pulling. So it's fair to say that the bruising Italian is one of the most feared defenders in world football, and he has the prizes to prove it, with 5 Serie A titles, 2 Coppas Italia, and runners-up medals in the Champions League and Euros. But off the pitch, Chiellini is a totally different beast. While marshalling Juventus' back line, he actually considered studying medicine, but eventually decided it would be too big a task and instead got his degree in economics. And he got near perfect marks in his thesis, which was based entirely on his analysis of the Turin club's finances. If Juventus have any sense whatsoever, they'll hire him as their bookkeeper when he retires. Centre-back, Jean-Alain Boumsong. He may have been a highly suspect defender and even made our worst ever Internationals 11, but Jean-Alain Boumsong was a sharp cookie away from the field. The former Newcastle, Lyon and Juventus centre-half has a degree in mathematics, which he considers his main interest away from the football field. He is also said to be an avid fan of the works of Mozart, dispelling the myth that footballers are uncultured. Okay, a lot of them probably still are. Whatever you think about Boumsong's god-awful performances at the back, you can't fault him for hard work and application. Centre-back, Ramon Vega. Swiss centre-half Ramon Vega might only be known for his brief spells with Spurs, Celtic and Watford, but off the pitch his astute business acumen and degree in finance and banking have yielded great success. A 3-time winner of the Swiss Super League with Grasshoppers, Vega spent a year in Italy before being signed up by Spurs in a £3.75 million deal. Although he was only a squad option, he started in the 1999 League Cup final and ended up on the winning side. It came at a cost though, as he broke his ankle in the match and never managed to regain his form afterwards, although he did manage to win the treble during his loan spell at Celtic. Maybe his ankle is shot to bits, but at least his noggin isn't damaged. Left back, Yuto Nagatomo. At left back we have Yuto Nagatomo, one of the most distinguished players to come out of the Far East in recent years. The Japanese fullback arrived in Italy back in 2010, first turning out for newly promoted AC Cesena before being snapped up by Inter Milan halfway through the 2010-11 season. He won the Coppa Italia at the San Siro and quickly became one of the club's most consistent performers. He has also made 93 appearances for Japan and counting, making him one of the country's most capped players, but he is also a legend in his homeland for other reasons. While training as a youth player, Nagatomo somehow managed to fit in an economics degree into his busy schedule. Not only that, but the fullback has actually written 2 books, one of which translates as, "The important thing is to feel the rise throughout happiness." Not keeping us guessing there, Yuto. Midfielder, Xabi Alonso. Anchoring our midfield is a footballer whose intelligence is certainly there for all to see. The Basque player has been at the top of the global game for much of his career, gaining legendary status at Liverpool, Real Madrid and Bayern Munich for his consistently classy performances in the middle of the park. But as well as being one of modern football's great on-field orchestrators, our man Alonso is far from just a pretty face. Following on from his father Perico, who won 3 La Liga titles while graduating with a degree in business, Xabi joined the professional game later than most due to his commitments to studying. The Champions League and World Cup winner tried his hand at industrial engineering in his youth, and like his dad went on to study business. Although he didn't complete the degree, he has vowed to return to it following his retirement from the game. Midfielder, Clarence Seedorf. Next up, we have another internationally regarded player, who has played with some of the all-time greats over a long and illustrious career. Clarence Seedorf famously won the Champions League with Ajax, Real Madrid and AC Milan, while linking up with the likes of Roberto Carlos, Paolo Maldini and Andrea Pirlo, and since his retirement has managed the Rossonero and also become one of football's most respected ambassadors. On top of all this, he earned the nickname The Professor while at Milan. And no, it wasn't because he bossed the midfield. He was actually working hard to obtain a Masters in Business at the city's Bocconi University, the most prestigious economic school in Italy and one of the most respected educational institutions in the world. Midfielder, Frank Lampard. Completing our tasty midfield trio is a legend of the English game. Frank Lampard may have won everything there is to win at Chelsea, but he has also proven himself to be a highly well-spoken individual in the public sphere. During an era when some of England's most prized assets have shown themselves to be thuggish, greedy, or just plain stupid, Lamps has always managed to charm with his respectful and measured demeanour. And it isn't just a media act. The former England international has academic prowess to match his masterful manoeuvres in midfield, as he already had an A star in Latin before making his name as a footballer. Lampard also has an IQ of 150, placing himself in the top 0.1% of people in the world and just 10 points behind Albert Einstein. Striker, Dennis Bergkamp. The first of our forwards and the second of our Dutch contingent in the team, Dennis Bergkamp is a player who is hard not to love. Arsenal fans will long remember his prestigious performances at Highbury, and everyone is still dumbfounded by that goal against Newcastle. But Bergkamp's footballing intelligence came from far more than just instinct. While playing for Arsenal, the Dutch striker obtained a medical engineering degree from the highly regarded University of Bath, and maths has clearly had an influence on his understanding of the game. When questioned about his tendency to constantly lob the keeper during his playing days in the Netherlands, Bergkamp argued that when the keeper is off his line, there is more space above him than there is to his left or right. It's a question of mathematics, the Dutchman said. Touché. Striker, Didier Drogba. Fronting our attack is another Chelsea legend, this time a deadly striker from the Ivory Coast. But as well as achieving more than most during a glittering career, Didier Drogba has also made huge progress off the field, probably more than anyone else in this team in fact. Following his emergence on the European stage, the Ivorian goalscorer became a god in his homeland, and he has lived up to his billing. As well as being a qualified accountant, Drogba became a member of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, which was set up in the wake of the civil war which threatened to tear the Ivory Coast apart. Despite his active role in humanitarian politics, he has denied wanting to become the country's president. But if he were to stand, I wouldn't bet against the hugely respected sportsman being voted in. Striker, George Weah. Completing our 11 is another player who got into politics. George Weah was an unstoppable force during his playing days and has evidently carried that same mentality into the political world. As a footballer, Liberian striker Weah produced some magical moments, steamrolling through defences at will and winning league titles with Paris Saint-Germain and AC Milan, and even an FA Cup with Chelsea. But like Drogba, Weah became a humanitarian figure during Liberia's civil war, and actually won the Arthur Ashe Courage Awards for his efforts. On top of that, in 2005, Weah amazingly ran to be president of the country, but despite performing well initially, he did not succeed. However, he has since assumed the role of senator for the Montserrado region of the country.
So what did you think to our list? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other content by clicking on screen, and as ever, please do like and subscribe.